Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Bait.com's Career Talk. This is episode 7, and in this episode I want to focus on something very specific. We touched on it a bit in our very first episode about CV writing, but I want to place a bit more focus on it this time because I think this specific point will differentiate you from anyone else running for that same position. And that thing is skills, specifically personal skills, otherwise known as soft skills. So before we delve into that, I want to start off by differentiating soft skills or personal skills to technical skills, where that difference is. Some people will have it on their CV as just one section of skills and just throw everything in there. We want to break it up and place our mindset in two different ways where we're focusing on our technical skills, but placing a focus also on our soft skills that will really help us stand out. So if we're thinking about both of them, technical skills would be the things that if you were to take a course on, if you were to study at university or school or whatever, you'd learn how to do. These would technically or traditionally be things like softwares, like programs. If you're an engineer, you'd have your hardware as well that you learn how to do, different techniques, mathematics, finance, equations, all these things are technical skills, things that you can be taught how to do in a relatively short amount of time. 4 years would be that relatively short amount of time. But if we're focusing on soft skills, these are the skills that have more to do with your personality, with who you are. Whether you're a good presenter, good communicator, a good team player, good leader, good at time management, organization, all these things are who you are and take years to develop. So these are the things that will help you stand out. For example, if you're an engineer, you'd have a certain number of things that you know how to do, that the next engineer would also know how to do, that the next one, next and next. And chances are, if you're applying to a position that's requiring these skill sets, a ton more applicants would be having the same qualifications from a technical standpoint. Now we want to stand out from everyone else, and this is what's really important to employers as well. It's the soft skills. What makes you you? We ran a recent survey about the most in-demand skills that employers look for, and the top 3 most in-demand skills that employers are struggling to find are critical thinking, problem solving, and efficiency. Now these are skills that employers really want, that they're not finding in job seekers. Now it could be one of two things. Either job seekers don't have these skills or the majority don't, or what's more likely is that job seekers don't know how to communicate these skill sets on a CV. And that's where you need to place a focus. So if you're applying for a job, look at what's required. A lot of the times you'll see the soft skills that are in demand by that employer written in the job description. We want someone who's great at time management, organization, can lead a team, can be part of a team, can delegate, negotiate if you're someone in sales. So focus on what's required by the employer or employers in general terms and see what soft skills they want and make sure you have them in your CV. Now that leads us to something else. And I think this is something we also touched on in the first episode, is that you'd be making a bunch of claims in your CV. I am a great leader. I'm great at time management. I work fantastic in a team, so on and so forth. But again, I'm going to place more emphasis on this, is that you need to back that up. And this is a little more difficult than backing up a technical skill. If you have a technical skill or you're claiming to have a technical skill, maybe you've exercised that skill in some project that you can reference. Maybe you've had some work experience where you've exercised that specific skill set. But if it's a soft skill, how do you prove that soft skill? And this is where you need to be a little more creative. If you're a team player or you claim to be a great team player, think back about different things that you might have done throughout your life that have involved you working as part of a team. It might have been a sports activity or sports event. Mention that. If you're great at negotiation, presentation, different skill sets have different ways that you can prove them. A lot of people, you might want to supplement your CV with a video if you're applying for a position that requires presentation skills or communication skills or maybe negotiation skills. Think about the different ways you can back up that skill set. And the reason I'm saying this is because employers are looking to retain the people they hire. So it's no good hiring someone who has the right qualifications, the right technical skills today, and then find out they don't fit in with the team, and then have to let go of them and then go through the hiring process all over again. So this is where you can show them that you are the right fit for that company. And this is what companies really value. They want people who are the right cultural fit, and then they'll invest a bit of time and resources in teaching you how to do specific things that you may not have. And this is often what will help you stand out from that next applicant. And the best part to exhibit your soft skills would be in the interviews. Phone interview, physical interview, definitely show your body language, your confidence, speak to them, they'll ask you questions. Also keeping in mind that if you list a bunch of claims in your CV and you're not sure how to prove them, be prepared to answer questions about them. If you do get that phone interview, the recruiter will most likely ask you about the claims that you've made. You've claimed that you're fantastic at time management. Give us an example where you've been praised for your time management skills, or some opportunity or some job that you've had where you were under a lot of pressure and you were able to manage your workload. So be prepared to answer questions for that. I guess what I'm trying to say in this video is focus on the soft skills, because that is what would really help you stand out from the next person, and it's what a lot of people overlook. They see what a job requires and they write exactly what's needed for that job, forgetting that they need to be the right person for that job. And that's where your focus needs to be. You need to be the right person for that organization. For all you know, they might not take you for that specific position, but then they're so impressed, or they feel like you're an amazing cultural fit for that organization, that they'll keep you in mind for another vacancy that might be more suitable for you. So you really don't have much to lose, but a lot to gain from focusing on your soft skills. I'm not going to go on too long in this video. It's all I wanted to say is focus on your soft skills and make sure you put in examples wherever you can, be prepared to answer questions wherever you can, and start off by looking at what these employers are looking for. And I do highly recommend to check out our survey. I'll link it in the description box so you can check it out and see what skills are in demand so that you know how to better position yourself. And I'll leave you with that today. Make sure to watch us again next week. Every week we're coming out with new episodes. Subscribe to us here on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, on Instagram for the latest updates. And we'll see you next week.